Today I wanted to go over the pre-listing pack, and it's something that's done by some of you, not all of you. And for those that are doing it, I feel like it's sometimes full of too much crap. So I wanted to simplify it for you and let you know what you need to include, what it should look like, because most sellers that are looking at your pre-listing packet are just skimming through it. And we need to make sure that it stands out with what we want them to see. And so I've broken it down into 5 things for you. But first, I want to emphasize that if you do have a packet, in the process of asking the pre-listing questions, you make sure at the end that you say, hey, on this day, is it okay if I stop by and drop off a packet, right? It gives you another opportunity for you to talk to them and engage with them. And if you don't have time, have somebody else drop it along with you, with whatever it is that you want from your team. That's probably the best way if you show up though. Now, don't worry about it, because a lot of people, a lot of agents just say, well, it's too much work. I just want to make sure that it's perfect and that all the pieces are in place. And so that's just going to delay what you really need to be doing. And this is why I simplified it for you. Most sellers, like I said before, are not going to look through everything here. And for the ones that are, I want it to be compact and to the point. So here we go. These are the 5 that I've broken it up for you. For. Number 1, what makes you qualified? The seller is looking to see why you. Why should we be choosing you? But at the same time, they want to understand what you stand for and who your company is, what you're about. Why do you do this? And I think this is the point that a lot of us miss. And what comes to mind is Simon Sinek in his book, Start With Why, when he says, it's important for people to understand what you stand for, why you do things. They know what you do. They know that you're a real estate agent. They know that you're a broker, that you're a team. They know all of that. But why should they associate with you? Why should they choose you based on what you stand for? And I think that's where the mission and the vision come into play, because if you can explain to them what you stand for, what it is that you do, why you do it, how you do it, you can stand out above a lot of agents, because a lot of agents don't go through this process and really try to connect with the consumer in that way. And you think of the biggest companies in the world and you think of why it is that we go with them and we choose them. There's an affinity we have to them because of what they stand for in most cases. And so that's what you want to recreate in your area, in your sphere, on the consumer that you're targeting. And you think, well, why should someone choose me? And it's not as easy as it sounds. So I suggest that if you're wondering why, go read Start With Why by Simon Sinek. But start with the mission and the vision. That's number 1. Number 2, the marketing process. Just get right into it. The marketing process explains what sets you apart by showing what you offer. So online, what do you do online? What do you do that's traditional? What do you do virtually? All of the things that you do that are going to expose their home to the most buyers and other agents as possible. And here's where you break it down to highlight those most important things. Right, you can go through and make this 15 pages long and show every single little detail that every agent does. But I'm going to hope that you don't do that. I'm going to hope that you focus on those things that set you apart, those things that make you different, because that's what they're looking for. They're not looking for hey, look, I'm going to put up your listing on Realtor.com and Zillow. That's where everybody puts it. Let's use this opportunity to stand out and say, hey, why are you different? What do you do that's different here? And pick those and show how you really focus on that and how it's helped your other clients in the past. Number 3, pricing strategy. Sometimes we forget that sellers don't understand the process of pricing homes. It's going to be something that you go through during the presentation, during the pitch, but it's important that they understand before how you're coming up with a price, how prices are come up with by appraisers. And so this is where you explain, hey, this is what typically happens. This is how we come up with pricing. And this is how I do it. This is what I look for. And here are the examples, right? You don't have to necessarily give them the price of what you're coming up with. Then you can do it in person, but you can say, hey, look, these are the homes that I'm coming up with. Maybe it's 3, 4, 5, 3 that are active, 3 that have sold, and 3 that are pending, or something along those lines. But the important part is your pricing strategy, how they will get more for their home through your process. Number 4, explain the paperwork process and that you're here to help and protect them. They want to know that you're the expert in this process and that you're going to have their backs. You're going to make sure that everything is as easy as possible for them. So this is where you go and show, hey, look, this is after you're under contract, after you open escrow. These are the processes that are involved, right? Escrow and title and attorneys, if you have those. Or also go through, hey, this is all the paperwork that we're going to go through. But I'm going to be there, and not only me, but our broker is going to be reviewing a lot of these, along with, if you have a transaction coordinator, right? So explain this process. Explain that most of the hard work comes after an offer is accepted, and that you're there with your expertise along with your office. Explain that process. Make it important so that it stands out. And number 5, reviews. This one is self-explanatory. Leave it to the end. It's just reviews. Include 3 to 4 reviews that past clients have done for you with their phone numbers and their names and their email addresses. Obviously, you have to ask the past clients if this is okay, but it's important so that people can feel like if they need to reach out to anyone, there is someone they can reach out to ask, hey, did so-and-so do a good job on this because this is what I'm looking for? And this is important to just mentally, psychologically, so they can say, got it. I can reach out to somebody else besides the agent. And you think of Amazon, you think of Zillow, you think of everything else. Yes, it's part of the world that we live in. Yelp's got it, and those reviews are out there. So why not put the reviews there so people can review them along with the phone numbers and the names and everything else. So those are the 5. I've outlined them for you as simply as I could. Let me just unmute this to see if you have any questions. Hopefully the unmute button works. If it doesn't, then we're just going to have to sit here. All right, it doesn't work. So I can't hear you. So if you have any questions at all, text me. I've got this process outlined. It's really simple. It's just 5 steps. So if you need it, I can definitely send that over to you. Hope you have an awesome day this whole week. We're focusing on listings. Thanks for being on, everyone.